Coming up next on LolcowLive.
The worst thing he said in that phone call was, "That's not real abuse. It didn't even leave a mark."
Immediately, Kelly started screaming at me that I was greedy. And I kind of fucking lost it. And he started making excuses for the slap, how the slap wasn't a slap and it wasn't a big deal, and that he didn't really push Kelly, that she tripped. And then the conversation with Wings ended with him saying, "Just fucking pay me my money, I'm out," right?
Yep.
And we passed Wings' cabin, and Wings was already in the cabin at the time, on the way to Becky. And Kelly was outside of the cabin crying. So I stopped and I said, "Are you okay, Kelly?" And Kelly responds to me. She goes, "He's blaming me. He's blaming me for ruining his career." And I go, "Kelly, it's not your fault. You are not to blame for this. Wings is out of control." I go, "You guys need to go, all right? And I will try to fix this mess." That's what I told them, or Kelly at that moment. On the way back, I told Kelly once again, because she was outside, I go, "This is not your fault, but you and Wings got to go for the safety of everyone," right? And I don't know if they decide to go at that time or not, right? Then at one point in the stream, you see me say, "I have to go deal with stuff." And I get Mike to go with me again. This time, we got a call from Lord Rush that the police were coming to talk to us, right? And we stood out the gate. We talked to the cops. We're like, "Hey, look, this is all a skit. We're just having fun." He goes, "Well, what's that big scratch on your chest? By the way, it's almost fully healed." And I go, "Oh, we were in a pushing match, da da da, but everything's fine. It was just for our YouTube channel." So then the cops leave, and then I went to go talk to Kelly, and I told her, I told the cops that it was just for content, everything's fine. She goes, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you." And I go, "You guys need to go," right? And so they left. They finally left. And the remainder of that night was like a celebration of like, oh my God, the bad energy's gone. The bad stuff, we're past, right? And we just got drunk that night and almost had like a somewhat of a party. And I think our very stream the next day, we came out and we said, "Hey, look, we're putting him on a 90-day suspension, and someone said, "So you lied to the police?" Yeah, I did. "What do you want me to tell the cops?" Yeah, I've been beaten, but I don't want to press charges. And Kelly to say, "Yes, I was beaten, but I don't want to press charges." So then they left, and then the next day we said we'd leave the door open for Wings to come back with a 90-day unpaid suspension, right? And Wings asked us for help. He truly asked us for help. We did agree to help him and navigate him through this and give him really good advice. All I know is once we seen that slap video, then things changed, and it was like, oh my fucking God, Wings does just lay hands on his wife, And I remember Boogie saying something to him on the phone, or maybe it was someone else. And they were saying, this is when we were on speakerphone with Wings. And we were saying, someone said to him, like, "You mean to tell me the only 2 times you laid a hand on your wife was in the last week during Fat Camp? Because it's so weird that you push her and then, you're slapping her arm in this other film." And Wings goes, "Yep, those are the only 2 times. And dude, everyone was kind of fucking really mad and done with Wings at that moment.
Well, the worst thing he said in that phone call was, "That's not real abuse. It didn't even leave a mark."
Yeah.
And that really burns a bridge with me. Like, I still want to help Jordy get better, all that stuff, but like, come on, man. You don't have to leave a mark. Some of the worst things that can happen to you don't leave a mark.
Yeah. So then we're done with Wings. All right. We know he's fired, right? And then I think it's the next day he starts sending us messages that he's in anger management. So then we're like, holy shit. Okay, good. Right. So now the door is to crack open again. Okay. And we kept going back and forth like this for a while, right? Like it got bad and then it looked like there was hope, and then it got bad and it looked like there was hope. And then when we left Fat Camp, I'm literally, 2 hours driving out. And me, Boogie, and Wings, we get on the phone. And we wanted to talk about him getting better, but also making content of him getting better, meaning that like the audience can see him actually doing the anger management or whatever the fuck it would be, right? So we're kind of having that conversation. And me and Boogie brought up something that's been bothering us every one of these live events. And that's where Wings goes home early and, we make the bulk of the money. And so when we brought up that, immediately Kelly started screaming at me that I was greedy. And I kind of fucking lost it. I was like, are you, bro? I'm like doing everything. You show up. You just show up. I'm fucking running around. Now, granted, that day with the car, Wings did everything. And it was pretty much me that just showed up, right? I'll give him credit where credit is due. But I'm running around like a madman, setting up new fucking stages. And yeah, I had help from Twiggy and stuff, but it's fucking, I'm on the go nonstop, right? And I got told that I was fucking greedy. And, I was trying to take advantage of him. And then he started making excuses for the slap, how the slap wasn't a slap and it wasn't a big deal, and that he didn't really push Kelly, that she tripped. And we're like, oh, he's not getting better. And that he's just doing the anger management because it's bullshit or something. Do you remember that line? I can't remember.
No.
Something about fucking, this thing's just a money grab, South Carolina. There was one good thing he did say, though, in that conversation is, remember, he said, what I did realize is I do have anger management because the basis of anger management, you remember that?
Yeah, he basically said that by taking some of the courses, he realized that his whole personality was based off of some level of anger, where he's always frustrated, while he's irritated and stuff like that.
And then the conversation with Wings ended with him saying, just fucking pay me my money, I'm out. Right?
Yep.
Conversation ends. Me and Boogie get in a private call and we're like, kind of a sense of relief. Like, okay, Wings is out. He's going to be paid per the contract. So then yesterday, I shot him a text and I said, hey, me and Boogie are going to go live on Sunday. I texted him yesterday and I said, hey, look, me and Boogie are going to go over everything. And we're going to officially announce that you're no longer a part of the LCU. Would you like to put out a statement? Would you like to say something so we can tell the audience? I want to make sure it's not just so you're gone forever. You can say something on your way out the door. And Wings decided that he would like to do it on his personal Twitter, and he did that yesterday. And by almost all accounts, it was a good thing. It was a good statement that he put out. So I am going to read that for you guys now.
Let me do it for you, okay?
Sure.
He said, last weekend's events are inexcusable. I lost my temper on a longtime friend, and instead of using logic and just apologizing, I escalated to physical altercation. I was unable to settle myself down, and unfortunately, I ended up putting someone I love in a terrible place. I never intended to hurt anyone. I came to realize that I do need to take steps to manage my emotions. I've started on that journey by enrolling in an anger management class and trying to hold myself accountable to how I treat people individually. I took the time to reach out and apologize to every individual, but I also need to apologize to the fans. I know a lot of people are not comfortable with violence of any kind or have past history with it, and it was not my intention to allow things to get to this point. I'd also like to add, I was grabbed from behind and I didn't know who I was pushing until it was too late. I shouldn't have pushed anyone or put anyone into a position to hold me back, and these are things I highlight that I need to work on. I've also had a good friend point out flaws in my personality over the years and allowed me to reflect more on myself. I didn't take a second boxing match because I hated hitting people, and I never want to hit anyone if it can be avoided. I was very unprofessional, and I take full accountability for it. I'm very thankful for my time on LolcowLive, and it helped pull me from a very dark place in my life. I wish we could leave on more amicable terms, but I will say that I met a lot of friends along the way and had a better outlook on life. I have a better outlook on life as a whole. I hope everyone can eventually forgive me and continue to explore having a friendship with me.
I thought that was a great statement.
Me too.
I thought that was a very good statement. But I will say this, me and Boogie truly have checked on Wings multiple times to see if he's okay. He very much is still our friend. And I think me and Boogie both want the best for Wings. You know, it's just, you know, we are in a situation right now where if we had Wings back, half the audience would leave and be very mad. If we don't have Wings back, half the audience will leave and be really mad. There is no win for us. This is all just a giant L. And then also, you know, there's a scenario where I don't think we could have another live event and have Wings there, because we already know that is creating an unsafe environment by having them there. So we would be liable for anything that happens. You know, we have pre-knowledge of knowing that this happened, you know? So unfortunately, it's just a situation where we really can't move forward with Wings. You know, he would not be able to go to any live event ever again. I don't know how that would be negotiated or even worked out, that he stays home and me and you go and do like ghost camp and all this other stuff that we're planning on doing this year. It's a no-win situation for us. And many fans think that this show will never be the same, that Wings was truly important to the show. And they're right. The show will truly never be the same. It just will not. And there's really nothing we can do about it. You know?
I will say, since this is a no-win situation, right? Like someone might be tempted to push in one direction or the other because they think that's like the one that's going to get them the best possible outcome. There is no good outcome here. So I'm going to say 100% true to my heart, which is to say that I will be in Wings' DMs. I'm going to ask him how therapy is going. I'm going to ask him how anger management is going. And if he calls me up, I'll talk to him. And like, if you guys don't like that, if you guys don't accept that, be mad. Be as mad as you want. But I think if he's working to get better and he wants a little help doing that, or just wants to talk and bullshit while he's doing that, I'm going to do that.
Yeah. A lot of people said, okay, well, who's going to replace Wings? Bro, we are not making that call anytime soon. I'll tell you that much. We are not making that call anytime soon. We truly can't, right? You know, we have to know, you know, we're going to have a lot of guests up here. You know, we're going to try a bunch of different people for a very long time until we figure out who the fuck that is, right? But you are right. You know, I need someone that's going to, you know, challenge me, challenge Boogie. You know, we don't want a yes man up here for sure. All right. But also we can't have someone that's doing violence. You know, like, it's just like, I really hope people can understand, like, we cannot move forward with Wings. We just can't, even though we truly want to. When we first made the statement that we were leaving the door half open, we got canceled. It's all over Twitter. Yeah. You know, Keemstar's a piece of shit that supports domestic violence and all this other stuff. We got canceled for that. And we were willing to take the L's with Wings for a chance for him to get better. But then it just kept going back and forth to the point where he said he was done. So